Frankie? Where are we gonna go camping this weekend? Huh? Hi, TJ. Hi, honey. We are headed to Basin, Montana. We are going to go ride the trails up by, what's it called? Merry Widow.
So what on earth are we doing at the Merry Widow Health Mine RV Park in Basin, Montana? Well, I'll tell you. We are here for the 4th annual Northwest Can Am Maverick Trail meet. So probably the first thing you need to know, I guess, if you own a Maverick Trail, thinking about buying a Maverick Trail, curious about the Maverick Trail, there is a Facebook page called Can Am Maverick Trail, and I'll put it along the bottom. You have to spell it this exact way, because if you spell it a different way, it'll take you to the wrong page, and that wrong page has been dying a slow death for several years. So make sure you get the little dash Can Am. Anyway, we're all part of that Facebook group, and there's an events tab at the top of that page that all the events like this end up in, and that's how this stuff gets organized. So first things first, we got to give some props to Dan Plute, the old buzzard. He's the admin of the Facebook page, and he's the one that puts most of these events together. Now, last year we had another member in our group set up the event in Clayton last year. Diana did a really great job, but every other meet that we've had, the old buzzard has been a part of and organized and everything else. And he put a lot of work into this, and he puts a lot of work into all of them. He's been here a few times doing some pre-rides. Him and a couple of the locals, Rick Curtis, Jim Dundas, Bill Rule, Jerry Daughter, and Josh Griswold, they all met here several times and pre-rode some of these routes and trails, and just to make sure that we get some of the best scenery and some of the coolest places to go and see. And anyway, these guys put a ton of work into setting this up, so we got to give them a ton of credit and a big thanks for getting all of us together every year. I mean, it's got to be like herding cats. It has to be. But these guys, big thanks from us. The way that they've set this up, there's 4 days of riding, and there's 4 routes. Actually, there was 5, I believe, total. One day was an optional. You could go one way or another. We had a ride set up for each day. Because of the number of people and machines that we had, they had to break it up into 3 different groups. So each group had, 8 to 10 machines in it. A designated ride leader and a tail gunner for each group. And each group left the park about 30 minutes apart. I don't remember exactly. It seemed like the first one maybe left at 8, second one around 8:30, and the third one around 9, something like that. Being that far apart, it kind of kept us from eating a bunch of dust. But we were close enough together that the groups did kind of catch up to each other here and there. Day 1's a big day. And so everybody's just kind of going to get geared up and head out. We're heading towards the actual little town of Basin and turn off from there and head up the canyon. First stop was Jack's Peak, and then a little old ghost town of Comet. And then we went through a really cool tunnel. It's a Wicks Tunnel. It's also called Boulder Tunnel. It's a little over a mile-long tunnel with a ton of water in it. Day 1 is really a great day. mentioned this place in the intro, and I totally forgot that we even stopped here. It was just a little jog off of the main route, just kind of a quick little out and back to this place, and it's all the groups caught up, so it got all the machines together for a pretty cool little group shot. And Suzanne went and walked around some of these old buildings and stuff, and it was really a pretty cool place.
rock come from? Huh? How'd the rock get in there?
Now check this out, the Wicks Tunnel. It's a little bit over a mile long. It took about 13 minutes or so to actually get through it. Wasn't sure how much footage to leave in and how much to take out, so I kind of compromised, but I really want you to get the idea of what it's like going through this tunnel. It starts out shallow, the water starts to get pretty darn deep.
I'm a rolling stone, bound to roam. Come the morning, will I be gone? Pouring rain, oh, to hear that train. There she comes. Just get on.
Without a doubt, this tunnel was the highlight of the day. I mean, at least for me, and it seemed like for everyone else too. I mean, this tunnel was intense. Now this, they call it the Wicks Tunnel, or they also call it the Boulder Tunnel. I guess it's a little over a mile long, and some of the guys that pre-wrote it, there's only certain times of the year you're going to get through this tunnel. I mean, and it's, the later you wait, the more shallow the water gets. If you do it too early, it's just the water is just too deep, and then at some point wintertime comes and everything freezes up. So the gap for making it through this tunnel as far as seasons go is pretty narrow. And you know, we had a couple of guys that pre-rode it just a few days ago, and they says, oh, it's pretty deep. And the best explanation was from Josh, and he says, you know, my feet were wet and my ankles were dry. That was what he described as how deep it was. And when we first started going in the tunnel, I was like, I thought you said this was deep, because it starts off pretty shallow. It's just puddles. And when you get about 3/4 of the way through or so, it starts to get really, really deep. And it's scary because it's dark. There's things floating around in the water. You're running over stuff. There's one of those deep sections. It's all filled with gravel, but there's one of those deep sections where the gravel starts to give away from under your tires, and you start to freak out because you are in deep water, dark tunnel. It is intense. But man, what an amazing, amazing experience that was. Like I said, highlight of the day, without a doubt. And from here on out, we're going to make this big loop back around kind of to where we were at Comet and head back into town. This loop is pretty cool. This little bit, we got to circle back around to where we were, and we can get up into the highland a little bit. It's really pretty up here, but a little bit more to do and then head back to town. That's day one. Huge success. Thanks to Bill for being the ride leader today. Thanks to Julius for being the tail gunner. These two did a really great job of keeping us all together and keeping us moving. What a great day. That was just day one. There is so much more still to come. But we're not done for the night. I mean, we all kind of went and showered and had some dinner real quick, and we met in the barn and had a raffle. We had a big potluck dessert and a raffle. We had some prizes that were donated by Corbin Custom Work, Gaia GPS, KFI Products, side-by-side stuff, and Avenza. Really appreciate that. That was good fun. We all kind of hung out in the barn and just BS'd for a while, hung out, talked about the ride for the next day, and just closed out an amazing day. But again, yeah, that's part one, and there's still plenty more to come. Oh, and thanks to Josh for loaning me with some of his drone footage that I used in this video today. There's some of mine and a lot of Josh's. Thanks, Josh. We'll see you all in part two, and we'll see you on the trail.